When most people start their fitness journey, one of the first questions they ask is, how long will it take to see results? We've all been there, excited to hit the gym, clean up our diet, and finally build that muscular physique. But muscle building isn't instant. It's not a 30-day challenge or a one-month transformation. The real answer lies in the science of human physiology, and today we're breaking down exactly how long it takes to build muscle, what's realistic, what influences the timeline, and what to expect month by month. Let's begin with the basic science of muscle growth, also known as hypertrophy. Muscles grow when you create small amounts of damage through resistance training, lifting weights, using body weight, or resistance bands. This damage triggers a repair process in which the body reinforces the muscle fibers to handle the same stress again. Over time, those fibers become thicker and stronger. This process doesn't happen overnight. It takes consistent training, proper nutrition, and adequate recovery. Muscle growth is not just about lifting heavy, it's about stimulating the muscle and supporting it with the right internal environment. Now let's talk numbers. On average, a natural beginner can expect to gain about 1 to 2 pounds of lean muscle per month in the first year of consistent training. That might not sound like much, but over a year, it adds up to 12 to 24 pounds of real muscle. That's enough to significantly change how your body looks. You'll notice wider shoulders, a fuller chest, stronger arms, and better posture. But keep in mind, this assumes you're doing everything right. Training with proper intensity, eating in a slight calorie surplus, getting enough protein, and sleeping well. So how quickly will you see visible results? Most beginners will notice a change in muscle tone within 4 to 6 weeks, especially if they were previously sedentary. That's when your muscles start holding more glycogen, and your body reduces water retention and fat. But real noticeable muscle growth, the kind that transforms your body, usually becomes visible after about 8 to 12 weeks of consistent effort. You'll see your shirts fitting tighter in the arms and chest, and the scale might tick up slightly if you're gaining lean mass. After that, progress starts to slow down. This is where we enter what fitness experts call the intermediate phase. In year 2 of training, most people can expect to gain about 0.5 to 1 pound of muscle per month, or 6 to 12 pounds in a year. This is why beginners often see rapid early gains, commonly called newbie gains, but then feel frustrated as things plateau. That slowdown is completely normal. Your body has already adapted to some degree of training, so future gains require more effort, smarter programming, and even more precise nutrition. And by the time you reach advanced status, usually around years 3 to 5 of consistent training, muscle gains slow to a crawl. You might only gain 2 to 4 pounds of lean muscle in an entire year, assuming you're training hard and eating right. That's why natural bodybuilders often spend years perfecting their physiques. They're chasing small improvements in definition, symmetry, and size. So yes, building muscle is absolutely possible, but it's a long-term process, especially after the first year. It's also worth mentioning the difference between lean muscle mass and scale weight. When you gain muscle, it's not always reflected dramatically on the scale. Why? Because fat loss and muscle gain can happen simultaneously, especially in beginners. It's very possible to gain 5 pounds of muscle while losing 5 pounds of fat, and the scale won't move at all. But your body will look dramatically different. Your clothes will fit better, your definition will improve, and your waist might shrink even if your weight stays the same. Let's break this down further with a realistic monthly timeline for a beginner starting from scratch. Month 1, your body is learning the movements. You'll get stronger fast, but this is mostly due to improved neuromuscular coordination, not actual muscle growth. You'll feel sore, your metabolism may spike, and you'll likely see changes in water weight. Month 2 to 3, you start seeing visual improvements, slightly more definition in the arms, better posture, and increased stamina. Your muscles begin storing more glycogen, making you look slightly fuller. A small but measurable amount of new muscle tissue is forming. Month 4 to 6, this is when true hypertrophy kicks in. You may have gained 3 to 5 pounds of lean muscle by now, and your physique starts to look athletic. People might begin commenting that you look stronger or ask if you've been working out. Month 6 to 12. Consistency here pays off massively. If you've been eating in a slight surplus and progressively overloading your workouts, you can realistically gain up to 10 to 12 pounds of muscle in your first year. At this point, you're no longer just looking fit, you're looking built. But what about genetics? Yes, genetics play a role. Some people have a naturally higher ratio of fast-twitch muscle fibers, more favorable hormone levels like testosterone, and better leverage for lifting. But no one is doomed by genetics. Even those with average or below average genetics can build an impressive physique with enough time and discipline. Genetics affect rate, not possibility. Let's also address some common mistakes that slow down progress. One of the biggest is undereating. Many beginners think they're eating enough, but they're not in a real calorie surplus. Without extra calories, your body doesn't prioritize muscle growth. Another Another mistake is skipping sleep. You grow in recovery, not while training. Get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night for optimal hormonal balance and recovery. Training mistakes matter too. If you're not applying progressive overload, gradually increasing weight, reps, or intensity, your muscles have no reason to adapt. And switching workouts too frequently can also slow gains. Stick to a structured plan for 8 to 12 weeks before making big changes. Consistency beats variety, especially early on. Now, some people turn to supplements, hoping they'll speed up the process. The truth is, supplements can support your journey, but won't replace hard work. The only ones with solid science behind them are whey protein, creatine monohydrate, and maybe caffeine for performance. Everything else is optional. No supplement will double your gains or reduce the timeline significantly. What about age? Yes, younger people, especially those in their teens and 20s, often build muscle faster due to higher levels of anabolic hormones. But muscle growth is possible at any age. In fact, studies have shown that people in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s can build significant muscle through resistance training. It might take longer and recovery may be slower, but it's never too late to start. Gender plays a role too. Men generally build muscle faster than women due to higher testosterone levels and muscle mass potential. But that doesn't mean women can't make impressive gains. The principles are the same. Train hard, eat enough, and recover properly. The timeline may be slightly extended, but the process is just as rewarding. You may be wondering, can I build muscle while losing fat? The answer is yes, but mainly if you're a beginner, returning from a layoff, or have a high body fat percentage. This process, called body recomposition, allows you to burn fat while building muscle simultaneously. It's a slower process than bulking, but it's extremely efficient for reshaping your body without weight gain. Let's recap everything with a realistic expectation scale. First 3 months, visible tone, better energy, neurological strength gains, 2 to 4 pounds of lean mass. 3 to 6 months, noticeable size increase in key areas, arms, chest, legs, up to 6 pounds of muscle. 6 to 12 months, total transformation potential, up to 10 to 12 pounds of muscle if done right. 1 to 2 years, slower gains but steady improvement, advanced physique shaping. 2+ years, minor muscle gains, major definition and strength upgrades. The key takeaway is this: building muscle is a marathon, not a sprint. You need months and eventually years of consistent training and proper nutrition to see your full potential. But every week you stay on track, you're closer to a better version of yourself. The earlier you start, the more time you give your body to transform. So don't chase shortcuts. Don't compare your progress to influencers who've been training for a decade or who may not be natural. Focus on your own path. Track your workouts, track your nutrition, and stay patient. Because while building muscle takes time, the results are worth every rep, every meal, and every drop of sweat.